Hi, everybody, and welcome to Naptime Nuggets number 47. I'm coming to you live on Facebook. YouTube has failed me, but this is too important and relevant of a topic not to bring to you live today. So, in the next 10 minutes, you're going to get something great if you have young children in your life and happen to do anything with those young children that has to do with costumes. It can be mascots, Santa Claus, or the wonderful thing coming up, Halloween. So this is Naptime Nuggets number 47. Halloween, fun or terrifying? That's what we're going to ask today. So what I want to ask you is, can you remember a time that you were terrified? I mean, that you were actually terrified. Can you remember one? I do. I was a teenager and I was watching a show. It was a movie called Creepshow. And there's a scene, it's a thing of little short stories. And there's a scene where this gentleman is in his house and there's a cockroach. And then there's another one. And then a little bit later, there's another one until they're coming out of the sink and it's zooming in. The cameras, I'll never forget, the camera's zooming in on him. He's laying there on the ground like he's dead. And all of a sudden his mouth opens up and all these cockroaches came out. What? I literally, from that day on, had an extreme phobia of bugs. I would cry and shake even if I just saw a spider. And that, I was a teenager. I knew it wasn't real. And I was so petrified and scared of spiders for years after that. So now imagine you're one, or you're two, or you're three, and you only have a few years of experience under your belt. And you've been going about your life and you've really gotten to know this world and what's in this world. And all of a sudden, people are wearing masks. And you don't understand even that as people wearing masks. You're just seeing scary things you have never seen before. You don't understand. Now, this could be mascots. It could be masks for Halloween. It could be Santa Claus. You've seen it, right? The pictures of little toddlers or babies. They're looking at Santa like they're going to get killed by this strange person, right? So Halloween can seem really fun. And we as adults get so excited because we can't wait to bring our little baby or 1-year-old or 2-year-old or even 3 and 4-year-old to these Halloween events and trick-or-treating. And we have so many great memories of doing that. And we think this is going to be great. You know what sometimes happens though? We actually stimulate fear in the child. And if it's not handled well, that child can start having nightmares, night terrors, when they wake up crying and screaming and you can't get them out of it. You can't get them to wake up. They can all of a sudden get really clingy and not want to separate. They become very, very scared. And all they need is one exposure, one event that kind of unsettles them to that degree. So what I was wondering this week is, how can we really help our 1-year-olds, 2-year-olds, 5-year-olds, little kids have fun with Halloween and not have some of those pitfalls where that child's going to be super scared or fearful? So hi, everybody. Raylene Osberg here from Thriving Together. I come to you with weekly Naptime Nuggets, sometimes on YouTube, sometimes on Facebook. And I'm here to help decrease your stress, increase your joy, and really enhance your success when it comes to caring for these young kids. So what are we going to do today? You are going to get top tips and tools to make this Halloween and the holidays coming up after it fun for kids and avoid some of those pitfalls. I'm going to give you a little bit of where are these fears coming from and what can you expect, so that going into a 1-year-old with Halloween or a 3-year-old with Halloween, what can you expect when it comes to fears? And then what can you do to support them or manage those fears? So how can you make Halloween more fun and less stressful? And then how can you really manage if your child does end up having fears? What are a few ways that you can work with that child to build connection and help lessen those fears so that they can have additional future success? Sound good, you guys? All right, let's jump in. So fears. Most babies under 8 months, 9 months do not have many fears. And then they get smarter. They start to realize that adults might leave the room. They might go away. And they don't want adults to leave the room. They also start to notice adults that are different who they might not know. So they start to have fears just when people are different, if they're not really familiar with those groups. So then all of a sudden they start to get older, and guess what? In the older ones, they start to realize that that scary dog they saw down the street is still there. They understand object permanence, that even when you're out of the room, you're still alive and well, you're just in the other room, and they want you to come back. So you can see a huge spike in fears as the ones go on, and a lot of separation anxiety. So it's very normal. And then all of a sudden they get in the 2s and then into the 3s, and it's like, oh, the dark becomes scary too. So you might see 2-year-olds fear things like vacuum cleaners, loud noises, the dark, and then as they get into 3s and 4s, their imagination starts to go a little bit crazy. So they even can imagine things bigger than they've seen in real life, but they still don't really know the difference between real and imagined. So put yourself in the shoes of somebody 3.5 and younger. They don't understand. All of a sudden it's Halloween and there's these scary faces around, people jumping out, yelling, scary music. It's dark. They're going to door and knocking on doors. I mean, this is different from anything they ever experienced before. So it's normal from anywhere from 8 to 10 months all the way up through 5 and even older to have fears associated with Halloween. So what can you do about it? How can you support them? I'll give you 3 quick ideas, and then I want to hear from you too. So number 1, warm kids up to the experience. So if they don't go out after dark very often, for example, going out after dark is going to be scary for them. So before Wednesday night, maybe tonight, go out just for fun and be outside. Second thing that you can really do to warm them up to the experience, go to the library and get some books on Halloween. There's some that just kind of show, oh, it's people wearing different masks. I actually have a blog post I'm going to be putting up after this, and it will have a link to different articles and books about this topic, so you can really quickly browse some additional ideas too when it comes to preparing kids for Halloween. But also, for young kids especially, show them a mask. Have them play with that mask and see that mask. You can even play peekaboo. Once they get, where they've really felt and seen the mask, you can go, peekaboo, and kind of look through the eye holes and things like that, so that they can even get familiar with the idea that there's these masks that then you put on your face and you might take off. So you're going to warm them up to the idea. So imagine as kids get older, they might have things like fears of spiders. So warm them up to spiders. Read books about spiders, learn more about spiders. There's only 5 or 6 spider bites in the entire US a year. It's not really something we want kids to be scared of. So how do you kind of expose them to that and have them play with little spiders and that kind of thing? And think about this. So kids can get fears from, oh, I saw something that was unexpected, something that I didn't know was going to be there. But they also can get fear from you. So if I see a spider and I go like that fear in me makes it so my daughter or son experiences that same fear. So if I need to get exposure to spiders and start feeling more and more connected to and okay with spiders, so that I don't pass that fear on to my child. So let's say you've done all this. You've warmed them up to the idea. You've gotten them ready. And now you head out and they see, for younger kids, head out before dark. Hello, it's easier in the light. It's not so scary. So much better to go trick-or-treating when it's still light out and kids can see, okay? Now you're getting to the older kids. Let's say they're going about their Halloween, they're 3, 4 years old, and they're doing fine, they're doing just great. And all of a sudden, one of those really scary ones comes along with like the cuts along the neck or the face, and you go, oh no, they're scared. You can see it. They're scared. They start clinging to you. Our first natural response as adults when kids fear things, something under the bed, a scary costume, is to say something like, oh, it's not scary, you're fine. No, they feel this feeling inside of them. So it's very important for us to acknowledge it. There's a trick here though, because when you acknowledge their fears, you don't want to say, oh, I know, honey, you're so scared. I know spiders are scary. Obviously, this is going to make them more scared. So you might say something like, oh, that mask looked really scary, didn't it? That really got that feeling of scared inside of your body. I saw that. Let's take a deep breath and calm ourselves. That'll help, because we know that's just one of our friends. Here we go. Let's take a deep breath. So you're walking them through that moment so that they're able to really see, I can feel this feeling. This feeling's okay. It's valid. And there's something I can do about it. There's something I can do to feel better. So avoid laughing at their fears, denying their fears, and really just validate that you have this fear and it's okay. And then teach them what they can do with that fear. So I hope you guys got some good ideas today. Type, what have you done to help with kids with fears? Knowing that we don't want kids to end up having nightmares and night terrors and really having a terrible time when it comes to fun events like Halloween. So how can you make it fun for those little kiddos? You can warm them up to the idea. Help them prepare for the situations that might be difficult by showing them the masks ahead of time and reading them books about Halloween or Christmas or any other things that you do that have those kind of mascots or masks. And then at the end, validate their fear and help them calm themselves. Give them a hug. Don't push them away when they're clinging. Really invite them in and say, it's okay. I got your back. I'm here for you. And we'll get through this together. So I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful holidays coming up. I know that these little kiddos, they don't like the unexpected. They see a lot of scary things in their world, but I know you're going to help them through it, and you guys are going to have a really, really fun week. So take care, everyone. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will be back to you next week with Naptime Nuggets number 48. We're going to start looking at sleep. Yep. A lot of people have written me saying, Raylene, tell me what we should do about sleep. Next week, we're getting there. How to get kids to nap, how to get kids to lay down and go to sleep. I'm here with you, Raylene Asberg, Thriving Together. I just love these Naptime Nuggets. Thanks for bearing with me, sticking with me, and have a wonderful rest of your day, everybody. Over and out.